This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Hannah Belinsky, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Wednesday, December 31st. Europe, Australia, New Zealand voice concerns over China's military drills near Taiwan. China's military drills disrupt key flight routes around Taiwan. And first cold air mass of the season ushers in the new year. But first, today's top story. China's large-scale military drills around Taiwan have drawn concern from countries around the world, with foreign governments warning that Beijing's actions risk heightening regional tensions. Taiwan's Foreign Minister Lin Jialong on Wednesday expressed appreciation for the support from democratic partners, stressing that these statements again demonstrate Europe's firm commitment to peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. The European Union's External Action Service and the foreign ministries of the United Kingdom, France, and Germany issued separate statements on Tuesday, expressing serious concerns about the PLA's Justice Mission 2025 exercises conducted around Taiwan from Monday to Tuesday. They underscored the strait's importance to global peace and prosperity and opposed any unilateral action that could raise tensions. Lin said Europe's strong response shows deep concern over China's improper moves to unilaterally escalate tensions through military exercises, adding that Taiwan would continue working with all like-minded partners to uphold a rules-based international order. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Xiao Guangwei reiterated,
"Our nation will continue to cooperate with all like-minded countries to safeguard a rules-based international order jointly."
Australia and New Zealand on Wednesday also issued statements of concern, urging restraint and dialogue. Lin thanked both governments for again expressing clear support for peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and welcomed continued international attention. The ministry reiterated that maintaining peace in the strait is a shared global consensus and called on China to cease its irresponsible military provocations immediately. China's extensive military exercises surrounding Taiwan this week have impacted over 100,000 international travelers and 6,000 domestic passengers.
China's large-scale military exercises encircling Taiwan this week have affected numerous international and domestic flight paths, prompting Taiwan's transportation authorities to condemn the move as reckless and provocative. The drills, covering 7 designated zones around the main island and offshore territories, began at 8 a.m. Tuesday and lasted around 10 hours. The Transportation Ministry said more than 100,000 international travelers and 6,000 domestic passengers were impacted. Aviation expert Jesse Lin said the disruptions are widespread but more severe on southern routes. The impact is comprehensive, but if we make a comparison, southbound flights are affected more than northbound ones because there's still a route available toward Northeast Asia and there are fewer flights to Korea, he explained. Routes to Japan and South Korea were partially blocked, while flights to Hong Kong, Macau, and Southeast Asia had to be rerouted. Domestic services between Taiwan's main island and outlying Kinmen and Matsu were also suspended. The ministry reported cancellation of 68 flights to Kinmen and 16 to Matsu. Drawing comparisons with China's 2022 drills, which covered 6 zones, Jesse Lin said this year's drills could cause delays of 60 to 120 minutes, with some exceeding 2 hours. The Civil Aviation Administration stated that it will guide flights to avoid danger zones and issue alternative routes as necessary. Phyllis Koski for RTI News.
The season's first strong continental cold air mass is arriving just in time for the new year. The Central Weather Administration said Wednesday to expect the coldest temperatures this Thursday and Friday. Daytime highs in northern Taiwan have already dropped to about 18 degrees Celsius. After nightfall, lows will reach 14 to 17 degrees Celsius. As the cold air mass makes its way southward starting New Year's Day, temperatures nationwide are expected to drop significantly. Northern and eastern Taiwan will remain cloudy during the first few days of 2026. Rain is expected along the northern coast of Keelung, the northeastern region, and the mountainous areas of Taipei. Central and southern Taiwan will be drier, with only higher elevations seeing more clouds and occasional rain showers. By the first weekend of the new year, rainfall should ease in Taipei, Taoyuan, and eastern Taiwan.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, SoundOn Podcast, Spotify. You name it, we're on it. You can find selected shows produced by RTI's English team on different streaming services. All you have to do is search for the show or type RTI. Find an episode you find interesting, hit play, and you'll learn more about Taiwan and its people.
Taiwan's foreign ministry issued a stern rebuke of Venezuela's government for its remarks on U.S. arms sales to the island, calling them a distortion of Taiwan's sovereign status. According to foreign media reports, the Venezuelan Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement Monday criticizing the U.S. government's approval of an $11 billion arms sale package to Taiwan on December 17th, labeling it interference in Chinese internal affairs and a threat to regional stability. Expressing condemnation of any attempt to deny Taiwan's sovereign status by falsely citing the One China principle, the ministry stressed that no rhetoric denying the democratic choices of its people can alter the internationally recognized cross-strait status quo. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Xiao Guangwei stated,
"The Republic of China and the People's Republic of China are not subordinate to each other. Only Taiwan's democratically elected government can represent the 23 million people of Taiwan."
The ministry suggests the Venezuelan government, rather than insulting other nations' sovereignty, examine its own lack of popular legitimacy and address its people's demands for democracy, freedom, human rights, the rule of law, and basic dignity. While China continues to engage in provocations in the Taiwan Strait, undermining Asia-Pacific peace and stability and the rules-based international order, the Foreign Ministry reiterates that Taiwan, as a responsible member of the international community, is demonstrating its resolve to defend itself and uniting with the U.S. and other security partners to maintain regional peace, stability, and prosperity. American scholars believe that Beijing's Justice Mission 2025 drills are mainly a retaliation for U.S. arms sales to Taiwan. The PLA's Eastern Theater Command announced the drills on Monday and on the following day conducted live fire drills in 5 designated sea and air zones around the island. Taiwan's Defense Ministry established an emergency response center and initiated combat readiness drills accordingly. Earlier this month, the U.S. approved arms sales to Taiwan totaling more than $11 billion, drawing ire from Beijing. Former head of the American Institute in Taiwan, Richard Bush, told the Central News Agency via email on Tuesday that China is not only taking the opportunity to prepare for potential military operations, but also seeks to punish Taiwan for pursuing larger-scale arms purchases from the U.S. Bush, who is now a non-resident senior fellow at the Brookings Institution in Washington, said Beijing hopes that the Taiwanese people will feel less safe rather than more safe due to the decisions of the Taiwanese government. Ryan Fedashik, a former China policy advisor at the U.S. State Department turned researcher at the American Enterprise Institute, offered his own analysis on the Justice Mission 2025 exercises. Fedashik believes that by holding the drills 11 days after the arms sales announcement, Beijing is attempting to repackage an exercise that would have occurred anyway as a countermeasure against U.S. provocations. He also highlighted the timing of China's exercises, saying it was chosen to elicit only a minimal U.S. response, as Washington is slower to react during the Christmas and New Year period. Furthermore, Beijing understands that President Donald Trump is reluctant to risk destabilizing U.S.-China relations ahead of his planned visit to China this coming April. According to Fedashik, China is looking to exploit Washington's relatively low-key response to undermine global confidence in U.S. resolve. He emphasized that, regardless of arms sales or other political events, Beijing would have conducted military exercises around Taiwan anyway. They chose this time and the narrative framing to maximize doubts about U.S. credibility, he said. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Hannah Belinsky. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.
Cash for everyone. The government is giving out 10,000 NT dollars. It's easy to claim. Choose direct deposit, ATM, or post office. Check details at the official website 10,000.gov.tw or 10000.gov.tw or call the free hotline at 1988. Stay alert. Don't trust unknown sources. This advertisement is brought to you by the Ministry of Finance.